How to Make $1 Million a Year. Brought to you by 40inbox.com. So, the general understanding for this is that making money is broken down to three main segments. And the segments are getting paid for your time. For an example, a 9 to 5. Pretty much the typical job that people are most comfortable with and then also most, knowledgeable about. Second one is getting paid for the end result. And a good example of this is like any sort of sales position or any sort of sales at all, even like selling products online. Next one is getting paid by leveraging your money, and this is investing or using your money to just make more money. So getting paid for your time. Now, this is the most common way that people actually make their money. Now, you can only get paid what someone is willing to pay you per hour. So keep that in mind. So you trade your time for money. You don't work. You simply don't get paid. So it's completely dependent on another person. Now, you are limited to how much time you can actually work in a day. Because unless you're an insomniac, you can only work within a 24-hour time period, with obviously in a day. Well, technically everyone has that restriction. But like if say that you are an insomniac, you could technically work for 24 hours. But the average person is not like that. So for the most part, you could really only work maybe 8 to 12 hours. That's basically the average range. So that really heavily limits to how much money you can make in a single job using this method. So the only way to actually make more money is by getting promoted or getting a raise or simply working longer, maybe getting like another job. But when it comes down to it, you really face a wall pretty quickly to your income potential. Now, there are very little jobs that would actually pay you $1 million a year. Now, a couple jobs that might be able to pay you this, depending on where you live and who you work for, could be a lawyer, a doctor, or some sort of CEO position, basically. But you're going to have like an extremely high skill set and potentially be multiple six figures in debt to even get to this point. Okay, so there are a lot of limitations to getting paid for your time. So getting paid for your results. Now, this can be one of the fastest ways to increase the amount of money you make while also decreasing the amount of time you work. Now, you only get paid if you get the end desired result. So basically, this is, the idea of a commission for selling a car, a house, etc. Basically, anything related to that. So you can make more money by working smarter rather than harder or longer. This is like a really key aspect to this because depending on your skill set, you can really scale this. You can really leverage the amount of time that you have in a day. So in like the exact same amount of time compared to someone who's working a 9 to 5, you could potentially get more results done and end up making a bunch more money. Okay, and there's a lot of different like versions of this. It doesn't necessarily have to be sales, but if you're like fulfilling a certain result or like you are getting paid to do something very specific every single time and you get a certain amount of money each time, then that also is pretty much the same thing. So depending on your skills, you can actually make a lot more money than working a typical 9 to 5 job that trades money for time, because you're not working on an hour basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis. You're getting simply paid for the end result. So you could have multiple results within the same time frame. And continued. So this is a potentially faster way to actually make more money than working a 9 to 5 job. But there is still a limit to what you can personally get done in one day. Because again, there is only 24 hours in a single day. So you will eventually need to hire employees or use ads to scale, to either get more customers, to get more leads, to get basically more sales of a online product if you're selling stuff online or even offline. When it comes down to it, you're going to have to use other methods within this to actually allow you to actually get even more results within the same amount of time. But even then, there will still be a limit and a wall that you will eventually hit, right? Because there's only so much you can get done and so much that you can actually pay someone to do within a time frame, right? Unless you have an endless amount of money coming in, you will still always hit a wall with this. You'll hit, the wall is a lot farther. It's more like a football field away instead of 2 feet away with a 9-to-5 job, but you're still going to eventually hit a wall, okay? So the next one is using your money to actually make more money. Now, this may not be the fastest, but can be the most reliable. So you can use the money you made from other methods, whether it be a 9-to-5 job or, getting paid for the results, and have it in investments that will make you a certain amount of money on a recurring basis without worrying about any other factors, okay? Now, of course, there's always, some limitations to this. There's always some sort of factor that you gotta, be aware of, but compared to everything else, it is very minimal as to the amount of time and effort that you actually spend to actually manage this. So you can pretty much sleep all day or work all day, but this amount, basically the amount of money in this investment that you're going to be making, will still make you the money no matter what. That's the whole point of it. Some people might view this as passive income, but when it comes down to it, it's just something that you could rely on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or a yearly basis, that no matter what, this is how much money you're pretty much going to be making every single month. Now, the main reason why this is such a big deal, right, is that this aspect, this strategy, this, side of making money, gives you financial freedom to choose if you want to go make more money or not. Because the thing with the majority of people is that you end up having to work every single day, multiple hours a day, no matter what, so that you could pay for your living expenses to simply survive. And when you have something like this, you no longer have to worry about paying your living costs, because your investments should be able to pay for all of your living costs. So then it doesn't matter what you do on a day-to-day basis. As long as you don't spend all of your money, you should be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want. Okay? That's the whole aspect of having this financial freedom. And this is also why we say that this is the most reliable form, because if you are working a 9-to-5 job, you could get fired at any point. If you're getting paid for the results of something, guess what? You could go months and not get a result as well, okay? So no matter what, if you could put your money into something that will always pay you, now it obviously can go up higher or down lower, but it would average out to a certain point where no matter what, you don't got to worry about paying your own living expenses, then this is pretty much the most reliable and the avenue that will bring your life the most freedom, because every other money-making method will provide you some amount of stress, period, right? Now, if you want to start, grow, and scale an online business, join the Course Academy. Now, why courses? Why would you be interested in actually creating an online business that utilizes courses? Well, courses that solves a problem can be charged a high ticket price. People are more willing to pay big bucks to solve a pain point, which equals more impulse purchases. And as long as the content in the course provides useful information, you will have happy customers. Now, it can be created once and sold forever, and you can use paid or free traffic to sell it. Now, this is the course business blueprint. You have the ads and the traffic. You could have free traffic. So you can either pay or drive traffic to an opt-in for leads, right? To get customer contact information. So the opt-in, for the leads, the contact information, you can get typically one lead or one customer information for around $5 if you're paying for ads. Then you lead them to a video sales letter or a sales page, basically giving them more information about your product, your business, and how it can help them. And then you go to the sales where you actually make the money. And this is where the course prices come in, where they're $1,000 plus. And the reason for this is because when you start using money to actually get traffic for this, you don't have to, but once you start doing it, because eventually you're going to have to do it, is that when you get, let's say, 100 leads at $5 each, because that's the average price, and you only get a 2% conversion, you will make a profit of $1,500 by getting only 2 sales out of 100 people of a $1,000 course, okay? And course prices are typically priced around $1,000 or more. I've seen as high as $5,000, $10,000, and even $50,000 for an online course. And this is something that can be sold multiple times over, okay? You just literally create it once, you update it here and there, and then it sells pretty much automatically as long as you're continuously running profitable ads, okay? This is why you will see, videos or wherever you go online and people are going to try to pitch you something, right? And they're going to be pitching you in the form of a course to do something, or to lose weight, to learn how to trade stocks. It doesn't really matter, but basically it is one of the best ways to actually make money online. And this is the reason for it, because once you figure out the winning step-by-step method, and you could just keep on scaling over and over and over again and make pretty much an endless amount of money. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching and listening, and stay tuned for more lessons on how to start, grow, and scale an online business. And we also talk about personal finance. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in future lessons.